Welcome back to part two of last week's episode. Let's go.
And
Yeah.
even now, as an adult, so I live in an apartment, but Jade lives there as well. But there's times where Jade would go to my other sister's house for like a month. And so she'll stay there, and I'm like at home by myself, and I'm like, okay, Jade, you can come back home now, and I miss you. But at that moment, I was like, I'm tired of you. Go to I need a break. But then I can't have a break too long because then I'm too scared.
That's hilarious. That's funny. So, like, to this day, kind of sleeping by yourself is still kind of like not as comfortable.
It's not bad. I sleep pretty well, but I do. Um, okay, so my old roommate used to call me a psycho, and maybe you guys let me know. 'Cause I sleep with my door closed. I don't sleep with my room door open because for me in my head, if I sleep with it closed, if someone were to come inside my house, I would hear them. But other people that I know, they sleep with their room door open. I sleep with mine closed. And I remember my roommate, not my roommate, my housemate when I lived in Alhambra in SoCal. It's like, Linda, you're so weird. You sleep with your room door open. So I don't know if everyone else sleeps.
I think she's weird.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
she was
because
a white girl, so I didn't know. I don't know.
I feel
Uh-uh.
like okay,
That's
as
creepy.
similar to you, my Delulu self feels like if someone comes in, I will hear it, but I'm a heavy sleeper, so not really. Um, but like yeah, I find some kind of comfort in knowing that like I can have that door closed and it's safety. Also, it's a really good fire precaution. I hear that like if there's a fire, you want to make sure that that door is closed because it'll prevent like the fire from. I don't know. I hear it's really good for if you have a fire.
Okay, good to know. Because I was like, wait,
Yeah,
does
no,
everyone?
I always sleep with my door closed, and now that was the thing with Carlos when we moved in. He's like, leave the door open. I'm like, hell no, I get too scared. I'm like, close the door.
Okay, so my follow up question would be: do you feel that you sleep with your room door closed because you never lived by yourself? Like you had to grow up, like you grew up with your parents, so you wanted to have your door closed. And then when you finally made that, even with you, Jasmine, when you finally made that transition with moving out by yourself, you already have that habit of having the door closed. And then Carlos, he lived on his own for a long time because, he's older, so he sleeps with his door open. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I get scared. I get scared, so I leave it closed.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
No,
No.
no. I think having the door closed makes me feel more comfortable.
Same.
Although there was a period when we were living at the other place where the dogs would come sleep with us in the room at night, but their pee pads were out of our room, and so we had to leave the door open for them to go to the potty to use the bathroom when we are sleeping. And me and Jonathan did not like that, like having to leave the door open for them. Like it was really weird for us to sleep with the door open. Like
Okay.
we didn't like that.
Yeah. And then another reason why I feel that I sleep with the door closed, in addition to you closing it to protect myself, because I think I can hear if someone's an intruder, but there's too much for me to see. I'll start seeing things in the hallway that's not there and everything. So
Yeah, like you start imagining things. You're like, wait, did
yeah,
I see
who is
that?
that? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's my scary self.
Oh, no.
yeah.
So how was it? So I have a question. So you were living in the down area when you were 14. So who cooked, or do you went up to your mom when it was like lunch or dinner time, or
For the most part, well, I probably did go upstairs, and I probably most likely made snacks because we had a kitchen and everything. It was literally a two-bedroom apartment style. You've been there, right, Kathy?
no? I never went inside. We always hang out like outside.
Oh, yeah. So I had a kitchen with a stove, oven, microwave, a living room, a bathroom, two bedrooms, like I said. So I would cook myself or go upstairs. And who knows, I was probably eating fast food too, knowing me. But my parents, they had a lot of trust because they better be happy I wasn't a wild kid because I could have been living my best life.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
have been living our best lives because I
They
was
better
there
be
too.
happy, yeah, better be happy we were losers. What type of stuff we were doing, Justin?
So one time we made, didn't we make like an outdoor slide? and
Oh,
we
it
were
was
like
so
sliding.
ghetto. Yes, we made a slippery slide with black trash bags.
Yeah, we made a slip
Yeah.
and slide. And then one time, this is funny. I will never forget this, but I remember it was late. It was late because we had to wait till it was late. Because I
Yeah.
remember we tried to do it early and we're like, no, no, we're gonna get caught. Like it's too early. We'll have to wait later until it's later and darker and people are sleeping. Definitely not my idea. I'll say this, but I remember
Leave me alone.
we got toilet paper, right? It was toilet paper, and we like
Yeah.
snuck out. We're like
No, 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 no. We're too poor to afford toilet paper, so we bought the party streamers. You know, like the
that's
ribbons and stuff that you
that's
decorate
it.
parties. So
That's
it was cheap.
So Linda, wait, hold on. Linda drove us to go buy those. Came
Mhm.
home. We waited till it got late. We're like sneaking out because like we're trying not to get caught and we're making sure we're hiding because police are driving through too. Like keep in mind, like there was a police driving through as we were like, you know. So we sneaked to a yard. I think it was your family members yard. I don't
It was
know.
my cousin's house. Yeah, that live maybe six houses down.
And we start like spreading everything and like what do you call it? TPing?
TP in
TPing,
the
yeah.
house. At this point, we were 16 years old. Instead
Yeah.
of being out drinking alcohol, we were TPing the house.
We didn't drink, we didn't do drugs, but what did we do? We went out to TP people's houses.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and we
Still
were
immature.
two different 16 years old.
What happened?
I say we were two different 16 years old.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like
No,
nowadays,
but
60-year old.
it was really funny though, because I remember as we are TPing or whatever, I'm pretty sure a cop drove by and I remember being like, oh no.
Got scared.
And we like ran back into her house and we like hid.
Hid. And then the next day I got in trouble. They're like, you better come down here and clean this stuff up. Da 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 da. Um, honestly, those were the good old days because, mind you, we stayed on 53rd. Unfortunately, we do not own that house anymore. But my grandma bought four homes on that one block and gave it to her children. So, like I said, we lived at one house, and I had a cousin that lived six house homes down, and then another four homes down. And it was like my other aunt's house and everything. So we basically knew everyone on the damn block.
That's
That's
cool.
amazing.
But
That's
the
so
good old
cool.
days, yeah, yeah. But like I said, my parents is definitely very trusting because I could have been wild. I should have been a wild kid, but
Same. Like they wouldn't even call me. Like
yeah,
they never I would be gone from home and I'm like I could be not alive right now. Like I would I would get out of school because I think at that point we're in high school,
we're in
right?
high school. Yeah,
So,
we're in high
yes,
school.
at that point I remember like I was going to Bishop Woodhout. I would take the bus all the way to Linda's. No, sometimes even to your school. And
Yeah,
then Linda would drive us home to her house and I would be there Friday and I don't think I'd go home till Sunday.
yeah,
So I'd
pretty
be there
much.
all weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
Then because even then, because again, Bishop O'Dowd was what, on 90, I don't know, 98th or something like that. And
yeah,
then my house, huh?
it was
98.
a
Yeah.
98.
98. And then my house was on 53rd. And then even when because Jasmine transferred over to Alameda High and I went to St. Liz. St. Liz was like on 34th. And again, Jasmine would leave Alameda High, meet up at my high school, which was on 34th, and we'll all go back to my house. Because
It made
out of
it
my
even easier. It made it even easier for me to go to your
it's
house.
so easy. Because again, I was the one that was driving before my friends and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Vanessa, poor Jasmine holding on to the back seat. He goes,
This girl freaking scraped a bus.
I did scrape a bus, but
Was I in the car when that happened? I don't
No, I know Vanessa was in the car. It's because Jade. I was like, I think I was yelling at Jade, and Jade was getting on my nerves. And then I didn't know like the depth between my car and the bus, the bumper of the bus, and I kind of like scraped the bus a little bit. But
remember.
I
Oh
Yeah.
know.
well.
Yeah, adulting. Yeah. So I've been in adulting since I was 14, 14 years old.
That's Linda. You've been ahead of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. You've had a head start.
Exactly. I hit the ground running. But yeah, the good old days. Any other funny stories?
Do you have any like interesting college stories, Lynette? Because I feel like you lived it up in college. Like,
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, yeah. College
yeah,
was fun. That's why I feel that everyone should have the opportunity to go away for college. Like if you have the opportunity, do it. Like don't stay local where you'll be at home with your parents. Like go far away. Go somewhere so you can kind of get your independence, learn how to be independent and not depend on your parents.
yeah.
Um so yeah, I moved to LA for undergrad, stayed in the dorms for 2 years, I want to say. It was a dorm with eight girls. It was like the bad girls club. So
Whoa.
it was very chaotic. Like girls were we can become very catty, and that showed up in the dorm that we
Really?
lived in. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but it was honestly it was I had the best experiences living in dorms and away for college. A lot of underage drinking, a lot of parties. It was so funny because we have like the RA. I forgot what the RA stands for, but it's the people that
Re-
checks resident,
Assistant?
maybe resident
Okay.
assistants, where they are responsible to check in on the students that live in the dorm. So we'll party, and when the RA comes to knock on the door, everyone has to like be quiet and like hide in the closet, hide under the bed. It was fun. There's a lot of drama, a whole lot of drama, a lot of arguments, some fights.
Really? Damn.
Yeah,
That
it was fun.
honestly, yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't move into like I know you're saying living in dorms was fun, but like I would not no, that's too much. I couldn't
Yeah.
do all that drama. I'm like, I'm trying to get an A in class. I don't need all this.
No, it was fun. And it wasn't like every day. If it was the drama was with you, it would be a problem. Like it would be really bad. The drama was with like other people I live with. They didn't really have nothing to do with me, but it rubbed me the wrong way. So I
Yeah.
made it my problem. But even like the parties, it would be at other people's dorms. So it was like a community of students that would get together. We always had some type of festival or dance or just something that happened on the campus.
Yeah.
It was really fun. That's why I suggest everyone to do it. It was a good experience. That's the reason why I ended up moving out the second year. I think I wanted to move out after the first year, but I didn't. I moved out after the second year.
Yeah, I think you're right in the sense that like because I didn't get the experience you got because I pretty much did everything like from home and all that, but I think that it still worked for me because I had parents who weren't like holding on too tight, like they still allowed
Yeah,
me to
you
be
do what you
independent. So it worked for me. But I think that if you are like in a situation where you feel like you're not able to grow or learn, like definitely go live on your own because that's how you're gonna learn. There's no other option. You have to survive. And so I think it's a good experience if you're like, you know, um trying to develop as a person to move on your own and learn these skills of survival.
exactly. And then I think it's a good way for you to find yourself.
Mhm.
Because when you're at home with your parents, you're kind of in a sense busy trying to please them and follow whatever motto and rules that they have for you. Because even with me, out of my friend group, it's like I can see I'm very much mature than like my friends, and I do feel in a sense that it's because of their parents was just
Yeah.
overbearing where they didn't allow their child to grow and do things on their own. So as an adult now in our 30s, you know, they'll come to me asking me questions. I'm looking at them like, girl, you should know this. But
Yeah.
then again, they didn't have the opportunity to learn and figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out all this stuff later on in life.
Yeah.
So like besides oh my God, I cannot speak. Besides partying at the dorms, I did feel that I matured even more. Because I feel that I was a very shy person. I'm
Yeah.
still a little bit shy. People look at me crazy and say, "You're not shy." I'm like, "Girl, if you only knew my heart is
I
racing 1,000
I
miles per hour."
I hate when they say that because like I've been doing the pre-mat and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I'm shy. And they're like, you're not shy. And I'm like, no, like it's because I sit in a small table with you. But you put me
Exactly.
up in front of all of these people, I'm gonna be like,
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel that going away to LA kind of pushed me out of my bubble.
Comfort zone. Yeah,
Well, I was mature at home, but in LA, I was living like a completely different like lifestyle. That's where I got into fitness. I started to dress up more. Just the friend groups that I made out there was different from the my hometown friends. You guys are awesome, but then again, I have another extended family in SoCal.
I
I
thought
know.
you were gonna say optional. I was like, what do you mean optional?
I
Yeah,
know. I'm like, damn.
Excuse me.
I know. I think I'm talking too fast, so my words are jumbling up. But
Yeah,
now, I have a whole another friend group in SoCal that I consider family. Now I go to LA literally maybe about 6 times a year because I have really close friends out there.
yeah,
So for me, that was a great option. To add on
Okay.
to what Jasmine was saying, for her it worked because again, Jasmine and I grew up together. Like Jasmine said, she would be at my house from Friday all the way to Sunday, and vice versa. I would be at her house all the time, and we have so many stories. Like again, I'm the baby in my family, but I have a sister who's 3 years older than me. So what my sister would do, she would drag myself to the party and Jasmine to the party. We didn't have no business being there. Jasmine's laughing for the listeners. Y'all think she's a goody two shoe, but no, Jasmine. I remember. I don't know what ID Jasmine had, but we were not of age. My
no,
sister,
no, like we were so underage. It's
we
insane.
were
Like, like we had no. When I tell you we
no
had no
business.
business being there, like it was bad. Like you had men that were overage hitting on like a young high
We were,
schooler.
no, we were at least 18 at the time because my sister was in college, I think
You
then,
think
right? Or
so?
no,
I think up we were at least maybe 17. No,
maybe
17.
7. You were probably 17. I was probably 18
Yeah,
because I know we were under 21. But my sister, she went to a frat party. I'm talking about the frat party.
that's
Was a
exactly what I was talking about too, girl.
frat party. My sister ended up bringing Jasmine and I there. I don't know what ID Jasmine had because we don't really know that many. I do, but I don't know how you got in. But Jasmine was the only white thing in that room.
I was the only, yeah, yeah. Like, I stood out like I don't know
she
how to
like
say. I stood out like yeah.
she stood out, but we had the best time of our life.
Did we had fun? Yeah,
Yeah. But again, Jasmine got to have those experiences.
yeah.
For me. It was fun. I remember Jasmine in the frat party. Didn't know what was going on. We had the cues. We had all. We was like, "Woo, look at these people." Had no
Yeah.
business being there.
Low key, no, I knew we were going there, huh? I
Yeah,
knew we
yeah,
were
we
going.
knew. We were
Yeah,
preparing to go there, and I want to say Kimalea was with us too.
she was always with us.
She
Yeah,
was always with us. I want to say Kimalea, my cousin. She's like my best cousin. I believe she was with us too. We were dancing, looking crazy. Didn't know what we were doing, but it was fun.
it was really fun. Definitely, like I mean, there was no harm. We were safe. We made it out. We're fine.
Yeah, we're safe. Thank God.
Yeah, I
But what?
mean,
Sorry,
we what else did we do? I'm like, what
we
else?
did a lot of
We were
things.
what else?
Party wise, I don't know. We that was the main one I can think of. Having an older sister, that's probably another reason why. Again,
Yeah,
I'm mature because I have an older sister, so a lot of things she would drag me along with. Because I remember when my sister moved away for college, she went to Southern University. I went out there. I think I flew out there when I was 16. She was like, "Let's go party. Let's do this." I'm looking like, "Girl, I'm young. I'm a baby. I don't want to do this." She's like, "No, you're a loser. Do it right now."
that's hilarious.
And it's like
That's
So,
alcohol, ill, no.
yeah, like, what is that? I don't do that. Live your life, be safe. Um,
I think definitely like they're live your life, but make sure you're still making like good choices that are not going to affect you.
yeah, no, yeah. I'm
How
saying,
was
yeah,
for you guys like adulting financing wise? Like,
That was hard.
paying bills, rent, student loans, all that. How was that for you guys?
I'm not paying back student loans. I have not my poor student loans. Woo, defer, 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 defer. Because I feel that don't even get me started on these loans.
They got it messed up.
They got me all the way messed up. You don't even know how much I'm in debt. But student loan wise, I have not paid it off. I'm not planning to pay it off until I'm done with school, obviously, because it's being deferred. Bill wise, it's been an adjustment because now I have to make sure I'm managing it properly, making sure that at least let me pay my bills, and then what I have left over, I can use on food and groceries. But then I like to travel as well, so I have to make sure I have enough money to travel, and then also have a savings. I stress the importance of having a savings for rainy day, because I know some people will just blow through their money.
Things
um,
happen. Things
Things,
happen.
yeah, life
Hmm.
happens, and you don't have
Yeah.
a savings, and you don't have that cushion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my savings helped me a lot.
Yeah. But for me, I would say like I think that's been something difficult because although like I mean, yeah, I had the opportunity to do things and be independent, but I feel like in terms of money, I don't think I had the best examples. Like my parents weren't the best with their money,
Mhm.
and they would spend it. I mean, granted, I don't know what it is to raise a kid, and I'm sure it's very difficult to be able to balance raising a kid and paying bills, but I think that that's been something I'm still learning to do better.
Hmm.
But it's also hard because I'm a student. It's not like I'm making tons of income, to be able to pay all my
Right.
bills. So I'm just trying to be nice to myself in that sense because I don't make a lot of money. Even when I was working as an EMT, that was chump change. And then like the money I made was barely enough to pay my student loans. And so yeah, it's like a game that I'm always catching up to, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for me,
I always think a savings no matter what, even if you're struggling, like for something like a health scare or anything, like your tire, it happened to me where like one of my tires had nails in them, and so I had to get that replaced spot on, like so it's super important to have a savings.
Yeah.
yeah, for
What
me
about you
when
guys?
I went to like move by myself. Well, yeah, with Carlos, it was difficult because it was like, oh my god, all these bills I have to call, I have to make sure like they're running, and the due dates, and like for water, like in Oakland, you pay like every other month, like figuring that out. And then right when I got like a handle of it, we moved to Pittsburgh, and then I was like a whole different thing because I have solar panels, so I have to manage solar panels, and like the water bill, it comes every month instead of every other month. So yeah, and then also like you, like Jasmine, like my dad was financial responsible in a way, but my mom was it. So it was kind of hard to like then like, and then always like I guess afraid of uh repeating habits than I've seen before, because I've seen how it is when you like make a bad choice and you don't only like screw yourself up, but you screw up your family, you know. So yeah, I that's why I wanted to turn the subject, because I was like, well, yeah, like it's fun in a way to be independent, but financing and like paying all these things is not fun. Like you have to kind of like stretch the dollar.
Yeah, I remember I remember like in school they went over like, "Oh, do you know how to write a check?" And they talked about interest about but I think that they should have definitely like gone a little more in depth. I think like learning about finances is really important. Like
Right.
definitely talking about interest.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah, I
lot of
don't know.
things.
I think there needs to be a little bit more education on finances because I mean, look at our economy, look at inflation. Like people are struggling, so I think that that should be something that should be a little bit more talked about. I think when in high school or in like even middle school because middle schoolers have money nowadays. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And to add on, I agree. The school system, it's not the best. I feel that the information that will kind of help us now as an adult, they did not teach us that in school. It's like a lot of that stuff we could have skipped, and more useful like money management and everything would have been very, very helpful.
Like credit
Even like,
scores.
yeah, even, yeah, credit
Yeah.
scores, even cooking, like learning how to cook, literally just teaching you how to be an adult. For me, I kind of learned that at a young age, because at 16, because so after my mom had passed away, my brother, my older brother, the one I'm always talking about in this podcast, he ended up getting my sister, Michiko, and I a credit card, and that credit card was supposed to have been like to be for emergencies. It was American
Oh
Express.
boy.
Of course, I was 16. My sister Michiko was like 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. And when I tell you, I didn't realize how much money can go by on a credit card. So I was swiping, swiping, swiping. And I looked at the bill and I was like, there's no way I spent this amount of money within this time frame. And I did the calculations because I knew it was wrong. Like I knew I did not spend that amount of money using the credit card. But to my surprise, the numbers were accurate. And then if you don't pay on time, you get the late fees and everything. So I feel that that instance showed me not to overspend using a credit card. Like even now and as an adult, like I have a credit card and I'm very good with managing my money in the sense that I stopped using my debit card because I wanted to build up credit on my credit card. So instead of overly spending with my credit card, I literally just spend what I have in my checkings account. Like I don't go over because I know if I'm unable to pay it off, there's interest. The interest rates will like kick my butt.
Yeah.
Um, so again, I learned that at age 16, and of course, I had to pay it off. It took me some time to pay it off, but I was able to pay it off. But that situation taught me is like, no, I can't like overdo it. It's not free money. And I think a lot of young people think, when you have a credit card, it's free money. And that's how a lot of companies get,
There.
yeah, they play. They play on younger people because they
Mhm.
know younger people are bad with money management. So that situation at 16 taught me like, girl, slow down.
No, and even like I remember no one I don't remember learning or no one teaching me, but like you get a limit on your credit card. That doesn't mean use the whole limit. Like you're supposed to stay under a certain percentage,
Mhm.
and no one ever talked about that.
Yeah,
So
like
I just
only like 10% of it or something like that.
Mhm.
yeah, so I
Yep,
just
I learned that when I was 22.
yeah. No, I never learned that. I would literally say till a few years ago. So
Yeah, it's so crazy. And even as an adult now, and I still feel like there's a lot of stuff that I can learn. Like even because I'm thinking by next year I want to purchase a house. I don't know anything about purchasing a house, but I feel that those basic skills should have been taught or should still be taught in school.
Hmm.
What is the down payment? How much you should be paying for, your home for your first home buyer loan, or how much you should be paying, how much your mortgage should be, if it's too much, if it's. I don't know any of this, so I gotta,
yeah,
educate myself.
right.
Um, but yeah, adulting is ghetto. It's fun, but it's not what I pictured it to be. Because I remember when
Oh,
I was younger, just wishing that I was an adult. Like I wanted to be an adult so bad that I used to sign up for things online so I can get like mail sent to my house. That's how much I wanted to be an adult. Now
and
that I'm
now
getting,
you don't even look at the mail.
I don't even want to look at the mail. I'm like, stop sending me stuff. I have too much junk. I don't want this mail. Like, keep it somewhere else.
That's hilarious. I This is how bad I'm terrible at opening up mail. Like I have so much unopened mail. I'm bad at opening
It's
up
bad.
mail.
And I learned my lesson about the importance of opening up mail too, because I lost a very great opportunity because I did not open up the envelope in time and like the due date was passed. So now I open up important mails at least.
Learning lessons.
Yeah, I gotta learn the
Yeah, I
hard
remember like you when we I remember like when we would be like in the car, Linda, and I was like, yeah, we're grown. We have a car. I'm like, we drive places. We don't take the bus anymore. And I remember being like, I can't wait till I make my own money. What money? It all goes to bills. Like, why was I so excited? No.
Yes, that's the big kicker. What money? You're
Yeah.
working your butt off to pay for bills. It's a cycle. At least when you were a child, a teenager, you spend your parents' money.
Yeah, you were chilling.
You were
Now I
chilling.
know why they were always so miserable.
I know. Because I was like, I don't know. Just mad.
Just
But
wanted
yeah,
a moment of silence.
seriously.
Thanks for listening to this episode of PG3 with your hosts Linda, Jazmin, and Kathy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe at a potent dose of 3 so that you never miss an episode and your weekly dose.